Hi. So I am here to offer a class on calming the mind and relaxing and releasing the body with hip turns and forward folds. It's a mad world right now and crazy times. And in yoga, we say that we're coming to the end of an era, and that's the Kali Yuga. And this era is one of ignorance and darkness and a lot of unconsciousness. So if we look at what we're transitioning into, it's an era of enlightenment, an era of light. And even with the spring equinox approaching this Friday, we can really look for the silver linings in a time of uncertainty. And I imagine that many of you are right now and embracing what's important, like home and family and those close to you and your own health. And here, by taking this yoga class, for sure, you're taking care of your body, mind, and heart. So it's my honor and my pleasure to be connected with you here in this platform. It feels a little strange for me too, but I'm just looking at it as an option. So close the eyes and just follow your breath as if it's a lovely, lazy little stream. And there's nothing to do, nowhere to be. Just keep your attention on the breath. And watch it move in and out, flowing effortlessly and never changing. A constant and steady flow. And just as the nature of your breath does not change, take a moment to remember the nature of yourself, the state at its most raw and fundamental level of you does not change. Go deep into that place, that core of who you are, remembering there is a steadiness, a constancy of source. And fold your hands together in front of your heart center, and we'll begin our practice together with the sound of Om. Inhale. We take a moment to honor our own heart, so bow your head towards your heart. May we always practice the practice of yoga for this heart, but also for the heart of all, which is really what we're up against right now, taking care of ourselves so that we may be responsible for the greater whole, which, if you haven't realized already, this is really intricate to our understanding of what it means to be human, what it means to be an individual in the mix of many. Okay, so let's begin. So if you don't have any blocks, it's okay. Just work with what you have. As you can see with my surroundings, I'm just working with what I have. And, we're resourceful, grateful. Use telephone books. Oh, wait, they don't make those anymore. Your cell phone won't work, but maybe some books or just ditch the blocks. How's that? All right, but if you have something, you just raise your hands up a little bit for a tabletop. This gives us a little bit more room to get juicy in the hips. And so in tabletop, I'm just going to rotate the hips, making a circle here. Again, today's class is going to be focused on opening the hips and forward folding So cooling down postures, and those of you who are used to taking class with me, we're going to stay on the floor, so that might be new for you. So glad you're here. So let's go ahead and roll the hips the other way. Making sure to breathe deeply and connecting to that deep source that is ever constant, the breath. Good, and then you'll come back to the middle, and this time we're going to roll the spine up to the ceiling and move from right to left here. You'll notice my back is arching from cat to cow. The nice thing about practicing from home is that you don't have to feel worried about being awkward. You can go wild, let loose. I don't know if any of you are used to taking my in-studio classes. You should know by now that getting wild and letting loose is completely okay, no matter where you are. Keep connecting with your breath. Remembering you're not alone. We are all connected at the heart here as we practice class together. We're connected, some new faces maybe behind the screen. And many of you who take my Stay Strong in your practice each week. Today's class called Stay Calm in your practice. Good, all right, so now we're gonna take it back into child's pose. You can slide your blocks so they're under the forearms and just allow your hands to dangle and bring your forehead to the floor. If this feels like too much on the shoulders, you can just remove the blocks altogether. And take a few deep breaths. Go ahead and roll forward again. You just move the blocks to the side. And take your right hand, place it right in front of your face. You reach the left hand up. And then thread the arm through. We're just going to do this a few times. So inhale, reach up. Getting a little bit of movement into the joints. Whoops. Let's keep going. Bring the arm to the ceiling and then twisting the left arm through. And one more, inhale to open. And we always exhale on the twist. And then this time, hold it. If you need support under your shoulder or your head, you can put a block, a blanket, or again, just work with what you have here. That's what this time is inviting us to do, to be resourceful, creative, and come from a place of abundance. So you see in the news, or if you've gone to the grocery store lately, many of us are coming from a place of scarcity. So this kind of perspective is going to be anxiety-inducing. So rather, we want to open our cupboards up, use up those dried beans and get creative with recipes. Have fun with it, right? And know that you have enough. You have your neighbors. You have each other. You have the breath. That's all we really need, right? For now. Keep breathing. And then inhale, come back to the center. And we'll switch sides. So this time, bring the left hand right in front of the face here. Good. And reach the right hand up. And exhale, come through. A few more. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, reach through. Come up. And exhale. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Coming down onto the shoulder and taking a few breaths here. Relax the hips back. Connecting to that abundant source of the breath. And then inhale, come back to the center. Good, so now you're gonna take your blocks if you need them and sit back on the heel. You can take one block or two blocks. Toes go under, gives a nice stretch to the feet. Hopefully you've gotten some walking in. If not, that can be a great supplement to your practice and also, of course, keep you healthy. And nature is always very good for the soul. So I hope you're getting out there, going for some walks. All right, if this is too uncomfortable, it can be a lot on the plantar fascia back here. You can certainly put the feet like this. Good. Okay, so we'll do a few breath clearing exercises here. So inhale through the nose, and then exhale through the mouth. A few more. Inhale, nose. Full exhalation of the mouth. Keep going. As you exhale, you can reach the tongue towards your chin. Keep going. You can tense the face. Squeeze the eye sockets. Completely let go. Last one. And come back into the natural breath. And so this is also a really great one for allergies. If you're anything like me and have been outside a lot right now, the pollen's really starting to kick up in our part of the world, right, in Maryland. So this is a really good one to get the sinuses moving and to clear things. So good one to practice to stay healthy, right? All right, good. So the next one we're going to do is a quick inhalation through the nose and then quick exhalation through the mouth. So it's inhale, exhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale one more time. And then take an inhalation. And then a gentle breath retention. So you're holding at the base of the pelvic floor, drawing the muscles out here. At the diaphragm, you're gently drawing back and in. And then even here at the throat. No gripping, even relax into the back body a little more. Keep holding. And then release the pelvic floor, the diaphragm, and the throat, and exhale fully. So let's try that one again. I'm doing this on an angle. It can be a little bit more angled for you all. And you notice my diaphragm here really working and the abdominal muscles. If you're finding a hard time doing that, you can place your hand on your belly. You know, we all have to start somewhere, so feel free to put your hand on your belly to get that action of quick inhale and a forceful exhale, right? All right, so let's begin. Ready? Inhale and exhale. Natural exhale. Natural inhale. One more time, exhale. And this time we'll hold at the top of the inhale. Ready? Breathe in. Mula Bandha, pelvic floor. Uddiyana Bandha, diaphragm. Draw the navel back. And Jalarana Bandha. Tuck the chin, tone the base of the throat, and you're holding. You can even lean down into the feet and into the back a little. A spacious, gentle hold. You can exhale at any time or keep holding. The breath is counterintuitive if any nervousness or tension arises. Then release the 3 bandhas: pelvic floor, diaphragm, and throat. Come into your natural breath. Nice. Okay. Now we're going to swing the feet forward. And then just point and flex the toes a little bit, working the ankle joints after having sat in Vajrasana. And then let's work the hip joints and open the legs a little bit back and forth. Good. Draw your right knee up. And then you can either hold the knee or you can grab the outer edge of the foot. Just going to work this leg open. Again, working the hip joint here. The knees are getting involved, or the knee. Draw the right outer edge of the ankle, the right knee towards the armpit. Connecting with that deep source of the breath. Everything you have is contained within. Can we remember that? Even in a trying time, like holding a challenging pose, the hold with both hands, whether you're holding the foot or the knee, but you're just drawing back as far as you can. You want to come a little bit to your edge here. In a challenging time, can you find your breath? Sit tall. In a challenging pose, can you find that everything you have is within? Draw your toes towards your nose, taking deep breaths here. If you want to get a little bit more, you can take the right hand to the knee. And rather than pushing the knee, tone the outer hip and draw that outer hip, wrap it towards the floor and towards your other foot. So down and this way, squeezing that muscle in, and then open the joint from the hip there. Good. One more breath. Good. And then bring that leg across like a number 4. You can use a prop if you need to support it. Good. And then fold forward. So in this first one, the hips are a little wider. So the angle of our sits bones are wide. If you like, you can use a strap or you can grab your foot. It looks like this. And now we're going to narrow the angle of the sits bones and bring this foot across. So I'll do it facing the camera. Okay, so I'm going to bring the foot all the way across this time, stretching this outer hip a little bit more and then narrowing that sits bone. Again, you're welcome to use a block or a prop anywhere that feels necessary. Okay. So from the front view, the first one looked like this, and the second one looks like this. Good. And then again, you can fold forward using your strap or your hands to your foot. And then inhale, back up. Okay, stretch that leg out and shake back and forth. Okay, I realize I have my right leg, so mirroring you, I was doing the opposite, which many of you in studio always know that I usually at least 2 or 3 times I mess that one up. So, and bring it across so it's like a number 4 here. All right, so I'll show you that facing the camera, this time mirroring you. You have your left leg across, I've got my right leg across. All right, good. All right, so with the left leg across with the number 4, keep both feet flat, sit tall. This is opening up the hips one pose at a time. You can strap your foot. A few deep breaths here. Tall in the spine, squeeze the outer hips, drawing the outer left sits bone towards the pelvic floor. Squeeze the outer left hip. Draw the knee open from the hip joint, right? And then fold to your heart's content and breathe. Inhale and come back up. You'll bring this across. Use any props that you need. Now we're opening up that hip joint a little bit more. Inhale, sit tall, tall spine. Breathe into that source. Deep internal source. That well is abundant. Can we go within and remember we have everything we need? And from that deep place of resource, maybe we can also apply this to our living in the world. Fold forward, and if you need to, you can use your strap or your hand. And take a few deep breaths. And inhale, come back up. And stretch the legs out, up. And we'll go backwards, going back to happy baby. Bring the left foot in, reaching for the foot, and then opening up. This is what's fun about filming live, is that you get the real me. So going out of order, now doing this hip opener on the left side. You can hold your knee or your foot. Right, sit tall, bring the foot up, and then towards your nose. So again, we want to work that outer hip and not so much from the knee joint. Okay, so facing you, you're working your left leg, and I'm going to mirror you. Am I right? Okay, so as you're working the foot towards your face, squeeze the outer left hip muscles and wrap them towards the floor and towards the other leg. That's going to keep that hip joint safe and supple. From there, open the knee up and draw the foot to your face. Remember, any shape of this pose is fine and acceptable. So if you're down here with the knee, okay, and you're working it like this, that's fine, right? Work within your limits. Know that anything is possible. You are completely and totally resourceful. Even if the toilet paper aisle at Wegmans tells you otherwise. You know, if you live up where I live, you've got leaves. One more breath. Sit tall. Good. Go ahead and release the left leg. And now staff pose. Sitting tall using the strap or your hands. Keep the spine neutral. Engage in those 3 bandhas. So draw the pelvic floor muscles up. The diaphragm at the ribs, back and toned. And then just tuck your chin slightly so your chin is parallel to the floor. A couple more breaths into the back body, into that mysterious source that is ever constant. We might not always know what it looks like, what it feels like, right? Even in times of uncertainty, there's a certain constancy. And you know what, if you go out in nature, just go sit by a river, go 1 foot in front of the other, feel that rhythmic gates upon the soil or the grass, watch the clouds pass over the sky, you'll see it. It's constant, it's there. It's growing at the end of your oak tree, your cherry blossom tree. There's a cycle here, and we want to tap into that source so we can see, even when we can't see our back body, even in uncertainty, there's constancy. So keep breathing into your back body, sitting a little taller. And you can fold forward completely, Paschimottanasana, holding the feet, or again, using the strap. We're just trying to keep the spine long, fold from the hips, not from the mid-back. And breathe. Come up. So we're going to come on to the back now. So you'll and your right leg up. Good. You can use your strap here. And we're going to start by just opening up this right hip joint. So turn the toes to the right and to the left, back and forth. See if you can focus energetically, a focal point right at the center of the pelvis here. And from your foot down the leg, down into the center of the pelvis. Energetically, you're moving your leg from this place. And from the center of the pelvis, through the hip socket, out through the foot, you're also extending. So there's always the two opposing forces at hand, right? Good. Okay. And you're going to bend the knee. You don't need the strap here. You can use your hand to guide. We're just going to bring the knee to the right and then let the ankle follow. And then squeezing the outer right hip, you'll lift the right hip off the floor, and then the knee will come over to the left and then the ankle. So then drop the right hip to the floor, open the right knee to the right ankle follows, and squeezing the outer right hip, lift it off the floor, right knee over, right ankle over. Getting as much movement as you can from hip to knee to ankle. Good. Then we'll go the other way. So now it's ankle leads the way. So right ankle, right knee, lift the hip, and then right ankle to the right. The knee follows, and then the right hip comes to the floor. Try that a few more times. The right ankle leads the way, then the right knee, lift the right hip, and then bring the right ankle to the right knee, and right hip. Good. Okay. So you'll hold the left hand to the right foot and then bring it down across the leg. So it can be all the way down by the knee or even the shin. It can be above the knee. And some of you salsa dancers out there, it can come all the way up towards the groin. So work within your limits, connecting with the source of your breath. And if you feel any kind of sharper pain at the outer knee or somewhere along the inner knee, the inner groin, and you want to bring that foot down a little bit further. Hopefully you don't even get to that point and you're just slowly breathing into this and finding the spot along your leg that works. And take a few deep breaths, releasing the right knee towards the floor. Pressing the outer ankle along whatever part of the leg you're pressing into. It's going to help to open that hip joint. Good, and release. Great. You bring the leg bent, right foot to the floor, and walk the right foot out towards your yoga mat, and then drop the knee in. It's okay if your right buttocks lifts off the floor. We're just going to do that a few times. So bring the knee in and then open up. Knee in and open up. A few more times, connecting with your breath. Constant source of energy, constant source of awareness. Be careful here of the knee. Make sure that your toes are spread. The foot is active. Good. All right, stretch the right leg out on the floor. And now we'll strap the left foot. Technical difficulties here. We're all learning something today. All right. Here you go. Whether you're holding the foot or the strap, just going to turn the foot in and out. As we're lying on the back, energetically, we're focusing on this point in the center of the pelvis and drawing from the foot down into the hip socket, into the center of the pelvis. And then also re-extending, giving space to the joints. Good, and then bend the leg. You don't need the strap this time. And we're going to start by bringing that left knee to the right. So we do that by lifting the left hip off the floor, then the left knee comes, and then the left ankle. And then we'll drop the left hip and start to open it to the left. Left knee, left ankle. Hip, knee, and ankle. The hip comes to the floor, and then we'll open it to the left. Do this a few more times. Going slowly. And then let's go the opposite way. So the left ankle is going to lead the way, then the knee, and then the hip. And then the left ankle opens to the left, knee, hip comes to the floor. Bring it across the midline to the right, and then over to the left. Our hips are that place we're steeped in survival. And when we have aligned hips, the energetic channels in our body, so survival to that higher level thinking, intuition, deep wisdom, deep knowing, things that we don't even know that we know, right? Being resourceful, for example. When the hips are aligned, these channels become so much more clear. So this is what we're going for. All right, so then bring your outer ankle to any part of the right leg here, whatever feels good. It can be all the way down here at the shin. And with the outer ankle pressing into the leg, allow that knee to open up. And it's from the outer left hip, right? Everything is more centrally located along this meridian here. It's not like if we just flex the ankle, right? We're not really getting the whole stretch into the hip. That's lower level body awareness. And it's okay if your body isn't there yet. It's not responding. You're just learning. Same way that I'm learning how to shoot a yoga class online. So don't beat yourself up for it. Just go, oh, okay, I'm not there yet. My ankle doesn't know how to do that. My hip doesn't know how to open that far yet. But the key word is yet. We're full of limitless resource and possibility. A few more breaths, releasing the knee towards the floor. You got this. Good. And then rebend the knee, place the foot on the floor, and then walk the left foot out to the left side of the mat and drop your knee inside. It's okay if the left hip comes up. Make sure the foot is flexed. You can't see mine here. Flexed. That toe spread. To protect your knee in the long run. And then if this is feeling pretty good, then your body is asking you to work the left sacrum, the left part of your low back down, and your butt towards the floor. Good. And then inhale and back. All right, let's do a little bit more in that right leg again. Stretch the right leg up. Go ahead, strap the foot. So this time we're going to bring the leg over, Supta Padangusthasana. 3. And then take your right thumb into the hip crease and draw that hip crease. Push with your thumb and draw that hip crease towards the front of your yoga mat. While you draw the hip crease towards the front of the yoga mat, the foot's going to come with you. So resist that. Any good yoga practice has a little resistance in it, right? I guess that's not true. There's certainly styles of yoga that are passive and have their benefits too. But the style I teach anyway. You're going to draw that outer hip towards the front of the mat and draw your foot towards your head. A few more breaths. You can even look past the right shoulder. Good. And then inhale, bring it up. Okay, let's switch. So strap the left foot if you need the strap. Stretch the right leg out. Okay, and then bring it across. Need a little bit more room for the mid back to twist. You can scoot your right hip over to the right and then stack that left hip. Good. Take your left thumb into the hip crease and press your thumb right there, releasing the psoas in the groin. The psoas is also connected to this fight or flight kind of survival quality in the hips. And when we release that psoas, we're going to get deep benefit. Keep pressing the thumb towards the front of the mat, but draw the left foot towards your head. Take a few more breaths here. Good. And then inhale and come back up. Okay, so you're going to roll to the right side. Come up for this version. You're a big fan of those. What happens is you'll to the sides of the hips and just slide them. And as if the anxious